Well, we know young voters were a huge focus for both of the presidential campaigns.
Hundreds of students voted early at a pop-up polling location at the University of Minnesota. Many more, of course, voting today. Adam Duxter has been talking with young voters on campus. And Adam, what are the issues driving them to vote today?
Yeah, Jeff, in many ways, this is the Gen Z election. 41 million Gen Z Americans eligible to vote this go around. Obviously, that is the most ever. And tens of thousands of them, we're told, close to 50,000 here on the University of Minnesota's campus. Now, Minnesota's youth voter turnout is always typically strong, but we talk with students who organized a Row the Vote campaign over the last several months, all targeted to get their classmates out to vote. They visited nearly 1,000 classes here at the U of M and also sent emails, made voter plans for their classmates to get out and vote. And today we have seen that happen pretty steadily all day long. We talked to some of the first-time voters, some as young as 18, which means they were born in 2006. They've only been alive, really, to remember the last couple of presidential elections, and they say getting a chance to vote today is surreal. But make no mistake about it, these young voters are plugged in, telling me they're voting with abortion rights on their minds, immigration, foreign conflict, as well as the economy. And we mentioned that Row the Vote campaign. I had a chance to talk to one of the leaders of that. She shared some pretty sound words of how she feels Gen Z voters feel going into this election.
I think the most important thing for Gen Z voters is feeling seen and feeling heard and feeling like our leaders are actually taking how we feel into account. I think kind of the narrative around Gen Z voters, or maybe Gen Z in general, is that we feel almost abandoned by not any political party per se, but by the political system in general. You have a whole demographic of voters who were raised in a climate crisis, who were raised with violence in schools, mass shootings. So I think regardless of party, you have these issues that kind of unify us as a generation.
And Jeff, of course, with 41 million eligible Gen Z voters across the country, including many here in Minnesota, that could be the difference maker for each one of these candidates who can get that vote. Now, I did ask a lot of young voters today how they're getting their information about the candidates, and that maybe is where we see the biggest difference between cultural divides. They say a lot of them watching Instagram Reels and TikToks to get some voting information. But again, here at the U, this turnout is always strong. In fact, they're going for a three-peat, 2020, 2022, and now hopefully in 2024 of being the highest voter turnout at a public institution in the state of Minnesota. They've won that award the last two elections, being the presidential election and the midterm. They're hoping to get that again tonight, and we've seen a strong push for voters here at the U today.
All right. Thank you, Adam.